Okay. I refer you to the beginning of your guidebook. Let's talk beliefs, rules and values. You don't see rules mentioned. Rules that you make up in your mind, that you hold. One must never be late, or it's a sign of rudeness or inconsideration if you're late. Not everybody holds that belief. Money doesn't grow on trees. Beliefs are what you make a statement about and what you decide is truth. How you decide the world works. What you think you're capable of. A rule is a belief you've held for a very long time and it has stuck. Could also be known as scripts. So your rules, we tend to have a lot of, it depends on our parenting, but we can have a lot of rules that actually don't belong to us, but they're our parents and our societies and our school and teacher and what we absorbed growing up. There's nothing wrong with beliefs and rules and values. If they make us feel good, if they work for us, if they don't make life really tough. But what if it were easy? What if holding the belief that you're not capable of fill in the blank was holding you back? What if that wasn't actually true? Because guess what? Our higher self knows better and our subconscious believes everything we tell it. Subconscious kind of works between you here in the meat suit and your higher self, the universe, the cosmos, the energy you are always working with. So it goes, okay then. It doesn't make decisions, you're unconscious, you're subconscious. It believes everything you say, and whatever belief you hold, its only job is to prove you right. And it will just seek the evidence for you. So if you decide you're incompetent, let's say I decide I'm incompetent, I can't do anything right, I mess everything up, bound to go wrong in the end, I will seek, I will look for it. My subconscious will always be looking out for that validation. I may get 199 pieces of amazing feedback, people telling me I've made a difference to their world. And there'll be one troll, or there'll be one person who says something. Bing, 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 bing. There you go. Truth validated. There it is. The proof. The proof we were right all along. So, all that to say, how's about you choose your beliefs wisely? How's about you just check the ones that you've been carrying for a while, and any that don't feel fantastic, you contemplate changing. You contemplate, what would it be like if I held the opposite view? If I believed money did grow on trees, that money came to me easily and effortlessly, that my health is improving with every passing day, that I'm lovable and that I'm good enough just as I am. Everybody, I believe, holds one core limiting belief that is holding them back from being as happy as they could be with their life, with their world, with themselves. And that is, I'm not enough. I'm just not enough in some way, shape or form. So this process gives us an opportunity to try some on for size, to play, to make it fun, because it sucks otherwise. It sucks if we just tell ourselves we're wrong. Oh, we shouldn't have held this belief for so long. Oh my gosh, this limiting belief I've had for ages that I can now see. What an idiot. No, we don't do that. We just play. We just play. We just experiment. We try some on for size. We notice our squirming and our little ceilings. I've hit a ceiling. Yeek. There's my comfort zone edge. I'm not comfortable now. And that's why it's safe inside of a book to play, to experiment with these, with shifting some energy and play, because there are no rules. Thank you very much. Right, let me show you some books of mine, because I just want to talk about the covers. And unlimited ways you can approach this. You may want to put a chosen affirmation, statement of truth on the front. I tend to have a theme for a year or two that I am working with. It tends to be a sort of personal development focus that I'm working with. So rarely is it a word. I did have the word sparkle for 2013. Still with me now, and I can talk a little bit about what that means for me, but they layer on for me. They don't go anywhere. They're not, it might be different for you. But yeah, it's not here and then gone and I've forgotten all about it. They always tend to be themes that revisit me. Remember the spiral? There always tend to be themes that go around, come around. If you don't know what I'm talking about, again, go to your guidebook, Spiral of a Process. So 2022 and 2023, I worked with My Joy is My Power. Where's the is? Oh, I did it equals instead. So that's cut out from a magazine. That is me with a pen, and that is me with a paint pen, and I did some stenciling in the background. So that is cutting the letters out of some sparkly paper because I had it and I wasn't going to use it in any of my crafts. It was just not my jam. And that was cut out of a magazine. So you've got a few examples here of handwritten, just using a coloured pen or paint pen, cutting out of papers, making letters out of paper, and magazine clippings and paint. So, and then I've covered the whole thing with matte gel so that it's protected. And those were cut from a colouring in book. So some of the things I didn't mention as possible materials, things you can do. Another one actually that I didn't mention is past planners. This is 2019 Leonie Dawson planner, where she used to call it My Shining Year. And this is the life goals workbook, and I had the work goals workbook as well. And I've still got this, and I've got quite a lot left that I haven't used because, let me show you, that I haven't used Envisioning. I used it in 2019 as my planner, done. And then you've got things like, haven't filled in that page, My Shining Habits. So I might want to tear this page out, and I've got myself a nice little writing or brainstorming. And if I don't want it to be My Shining Habits, I can cut that off and I can just put the box in my vision book for doodling, drawing, writing. But it was these pages, like 10 things I want to celebrate about myself. I didn't do a lot in this one because I used the work planner. I'm skipping through the ones I have written on so that I can show you. So things like this, there's full pages like this: My Shining Self-Care, My Shining Home, My Shining Relationships. And so I thought I might do segments, sections in my vision book, and they can be like the title page so that I know what comes next, what this was about. My Shining Community. And then I can have a couple of pages, that can be like the header page in my book. And then I could have a few pages on tribe, community, support. Anywho, so these are past books to give you an idea. So this is where has it gone? It's right next to me, there it is. That's very surreal. This is the craft books that I supply if you're interested. And on this one, I've taken off the label that describes the book that it came with. And it's, where is it? And it's damaged that. So that's, things like that will influence what I want to do on the covers. So I'll probably do a whole page covering, just purely so that I can strengthen it and cover that up. We'll come back to that. So this is what I'm going to use this year. And so My Joy is My Power was something that I was using as my compass, my guide, reminding myself of really in 2022 and 2023, when I didn't have a lot of control, chosen, but I didn't have a lot of control over my outside world because I chose to be a carer for my gran, right? Since the beginning of 2020. So 4 years of caregiving. And come 2022, 23, I couldn't leave her home alone. And particularly in 2023, I chose not to leave her alone in the room, like to even leave the room she was in, if I could help it for long at all. So I would say, I had to flick through this before talking to you, and I would say that my visioning, these were some like goddess oracle cards or photos of that were in a magazine, and I put them on the front and back covers, and I think that was to embrace my inner goddess, my inner priestess, my inner power, because to begin to embody what I could on the inside, considering not a lot was going to shift on the outside yet, but it really, really did. And that, make a difference in my world. It did. It sowed the seeds for where my life would then come. So then a joy is power, another one, even though I've already got it on the front page. I do there's some corrugated card, some lined paper, some, I don't even know what that is. It's got writing on it. I have no idea where I got these things from. It's just a collage. That's napkin that I've stuck on there. And then I've just painted and splattered and then written with paint pens, joy is power. So it's just a joyful, bold page. And that was me letting go and letting rip. And pow! Did you get that page? We open the book and go, woohoo! So I said about what things mean to me. So sparkle was intimidating. Sparkle was a word I used because I have always associated with magic and sparkle and wanting to stand out and being different, feeling different, like I had a calling, like I was meant to make a difference in this world, which clashed with my conditioning since childhood that it was dangerous to be seen. Don't be seen. Being seen is bad. Bad things happen when you be seen. So I've always feared success as much as, if not more than, fearing failure. Don't know if any of you can relate or not. But so sparkle was my way of gently challenging myself to embrace my inner sparkle and begin to let her out. And my soul sister, Jules, was doing some soul portraits, and she took a project on where she kindly drew all of this particular group of Joy Sisters in a online course that we were on. And so if you had a word of the year or anything you wanted included, you'd tell her. So I told her about sparkle, and she put that on the belt that I was wearing. I had brown hair at the time, cropped short, so I don't look anything like I do now. But that was fantastic bit of kind of goddess priestess embodiment where you're seeing yourself reflected back in a way. And she put me on a black background with and it was paper actually. So she does the drawing and colours it in with pro markers and then cuts that figure out and then chooses a background to put them on. And I was put on this black background with silver stars, silver dots or gold dots. I think it was silver, and it made what I thought of as a stage backdrop where they used the black cloth and the fairy lights showing through to look like a night sky, and me up on a stage, and I was intimidated by a drawing. If that doesn't show you the fear that I was attempting to tackle, that thing that I knew therefore must be holding me back, because if I'm really afraid of being seen, how am I going to move through this world self-employed? I was by then. Was I? Yes, I was. Yeah, I was already self-employed by then. So what was I going to do about that if I wanted to hide? How does one market a business when you want to permanently hide? And I didn't really want to hide, which is why I chose sparkle. My dad got me a bracelet. It's actually just over there, which says, always remember never let anyone dull your sparkle. And it says that going around this bracelet. And he said, including me. So my dad's always been the one that he was the psychologist. I did psychology at uni. He was a relate counsellor, that's a relationship counsellor. And we always talked personal growth, personal development. He bought me my first personal growth book, Do It, A Guide to Living Your Dreams. I've always been this way. Long before I knew the term life coach, I've always been that way. And that really, really, really came to a halt for the 4 years that all slowed right down for the 4 years I was caregiving. There's a lot of change and therefore growth that comes from stepping into that role, but you don't have time for yourself. You barely have time to think, let alone live consciously and with conscious intention. So for me, so we've talked about sparkle. I've had courage over comfort, choosing courage over comfort. So being bold and choosing the courageous thing now rather than the comfortable bit, because it brings more joy later. It's worth it later on. So I had that for a long, long time. I think that was more than 1 year as well. But my joy is my power was me reminding myself that I have always been at my most effective, energized, felt well, been able to affect change and generate more and more manifesting, basically, generate more good things in my world when I live through my joy, express my joy, follow my joy, rather than making decisions out of fear, keeping small, and so on. And so I felt that was really important coming out of the world of caregiving, where myself, my health, my physical condition, my mental state, it took a nosedive. My sleep, it was dreadful. I'm probably going to be recovering from that 4 years for quite some time. But as I'm just emerging now at the start of this new year for Resonate, I feel like this has given birth to the new possibility, whatever it is that's coming next. So there's more art in this book than usual. I've definitely only sort of had this kind of page before, which is clippings, words and images. But I found it absolutely fascinating looking back on it. Oh, I also got a brainstorming page that I left in there rather than cover up, and that was in 2022, Your Whys, WHY. And I now see this as it's a reminder. I was having trouble. You're in the thick of it when you're caregiving. So I had difficulty stepping back and looking at the bigger picture and looking at me, looking at my life from that more distanced. If you'd asked me what I want, I would have probably struggled to answer the question. So I'm speaking to that now because there could be some of you out there who are like, I don't know what I want. I don't have goals and dreams. That's fine. That's fine, because this process leads you there. How do you want to feel is what's important. So I've written, I'll just read a little bit on there. Your vision, which is congruent with your values and rules and beliefs, is your definition of success. Why make art? ? Why be self-employed? Why do you want to succeed and prosper from your creativity? And that was a brilliant starting point for me. That's 2022. That was me sort of attempting to draw myself out of the fog for everyday caregiving. To be like, cool, can I remember it? Or rather, where am I at now? Rather than trying to think, why did I start that? What do I still want that? How about we start with, do I still want that? Have my goals and dreams changed? They certainly have evolved since I hit the road to become a house and pet sitter, which is what I did just before going into caregiving. So what do I want now? What is my why now? I love to inspire. That hasn't changed. Incidentally, I think I might have already said this. Have I already said this? Apologies if I'm repeating myself. But when I was young, I learnt the definition of my name for the first time, my mum had said something about it relating to angel, or it coming from being linked with the word angel, but someone bought myself and my brother a coaster with our name on it, and then one of those just single sentence definitions. And it's essentially the same definition as angel. It's bringer of light. But if you've read the guidebook, you'll see me mention your inner ding. I'm following your inner ding. I have a very lousy memory, so I know this isn't the only time, but this is one of the first times that I can remember of my inner ding going ding, 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 ding. Bringer of light. Yes, yes, that's what I'm here for. Yep, that's me. I just felt it in my bones, through my core, absolutely resonated. Hence why it's called what it is. It resonated with me, and it was like, yeah, that's me, bringer of light. So whether it's making someone smile, making them laugh, inspiring something through a process, a mindset thing, if it's coaching related, art, however it is, bringer of light. Miracles happen when love is your foundation. I had very little time while caregiving. Just ask my poor patrons how much Resonate we did. How many Resonate videos they got, particularly in 2022 to 23. So it's like one thing there on that page, 2 and a bit things on there, and boom, done. But here's something to inspire you, just to give you some out of the box thinking. This Now Open was obviously, this was from a local magazine to Skipton, and that would have been a shop or a business now open. But this is the kind of thing that you can do. This is how you can use this. Is she is looking up, there's a breeze, her hands are kind of doing that. Now open. So this is me attempting to open up my energy, or desiring to be open, because I knew my body had caved. I wasn't exercising. I couldn't exercise. I couldn't leave the house, dang it. Get fresh air, grounding, couldn't hug a tree. At least not very often at all. So I could live out or voice my intentions in my book. This is one of my favourite pages from last year. Now enjoy more. Be yourself. Become yourself. Hold fast to your dreams. Pause, and I love the writing. Someone writing on a pad while sitting in the grass or sitting somewhere green, facing the future. And I just like the green repeated there as well. See, that's quite calming to me. There's kind of a lot of words there. Anywho, we won't just keep looking through the book. So, reason I wanted to flash that at you is there's one where all the cover is busy and covered. It doesn't have to be. You can have one image or a word or a sentence or a quote. And it's not completely finished. So I'm just saying that I feel like this was my inner workings. So I might add some bits to that at some point if it feels right to do so. Now that's what I feel that turned into. This, ironically, was more of an intention to capture the inner working. So this was more my inner goddess. So that, the way I was planning, was that with my outside world. This is what I wanted to manifest. Didn't really end up happening. There aren't pictures of art studios in Yorkshire, for example. And this was my inner world. So I've used some sparkly, what are they called? It's a glittery paste that you squeeze out of little tubes. And anyway, they dry looking like pearls. They're not liquid pearls, but Liquid Pearls is a brand of these things that I can't think of the name of. And that's just a clipping from, so that's a Leonie Dawson from the planner. This is a napkin. I've just taken the very top layer off and glued on there with my gel medium. I put some dots down the spine. Can I show you that if I hide my face? kind of. And then this beautiful, and again, I've put the old liquid pearls on there. There's some foil just from chocolate or some packaging. That was actually a decal for glass, for windows. And so that's just the colour of the book that you're seeing through it. Outspoken and in love. That was bold and far away from how I felt. So it was calling forth. You don't have to feel a thing to use it as an affirmation, a statement, a desire. It's a desire, it's an intention. And then a powerful first page where again I cut a larger, no I didn't, haha, this was, I can see the edge now. There's the edge of this magazine page. Can you see? And then I just tried to match it as best I could with paint around the edge. So it ends up looking like, especially from here, just a big page. A sparkling, that word will always crop up, complete story. Do you believe in magic? So this was like symbolic of energy, the energy that this book holds. So I tend to see the cover as, this is what I've been doing with it lately, is as an intention setting. Here's my intention for what this book will hold. Or something very powerful, image-wise, colour-wise, that makes me feel a thing. So I'm like, oh, I'm excited by that book, or inspired, or something like that. And then inside, I tend to treat the inside covers, front and back, as like bookends, holding the energy. What do I want them to be? So I carried that napkin onto the inside, and then I've stuck a card on there which says, art it out. You are never, nope. You what? You something, you fab, what? I have no idea what that says. Is there any trouble with that sort of scribbly writing? You know you're fabulous. Oh, cut it out. You know you're fabulous. Only I couldn't read it. So, this was magic, alchemy. There's a lot of that going on. I feel like I felt I needed that at the time because, and again, we have another page of words. That's a recent thing that I've been doing. And I do encourage you to do that if you've had a thought about where your clippings were leading you and you wanted to, you'll associate an image or a word, a phrase, or a few pages that you put together with something that you swear you will remember, but it's a bit like a dream that fades after you wake up. You are producing this when you're in a certain state, and it's highly context dependent memory. And if you're not in that state, when you come back to your book, you can be like, what did that mean? Where was I going with that? So I just wrote what I think the whole point of this stunning, opulent, bejeweled cover did not feel anything like my insides felt. The energy, the magic of the first 2 pages that are all alchemy, they're all about anything is possible. I've then written, there is magic all around you. Open up to the wonders of the universe. Excuse me. Notice the connections and synchronicities. Follow your feelings and believe with all your heart. We successfully manifest our dreams when our feelings are in alignment with our plans, and so on. And it ends with everything is possible, believe. So this was just my booster page for myself to come back and read. But it also tells me where I was at when I was choosing these words and images and creating these pages. Celebrate your strength. So it's generally very encouraging and very boosting of my self-esteem and that kind of thing. So that's just where I was at. We had some real zen. She's having a massage. Again, really far away from what my life was like at the time. But these are feelings that I wanted to generate and I wanted to feel. So it doesn't matter. So that is the half size of these things, this craft book and this one. Okay, then just to show you another example, this didn't really need me to put anything on it because it already had dots, and this is the ring bound photo. This one hasn't got pockets. The one I had before that had pockets in the front and back was fab because I could actually keep some clippings in the pockets. Lovely thick card, and this was my so that was like for me. these overlapped with the years, and this was for my home, my office, mainly my home, and it just stalled. It just never happened. And I think that's because as nice and neat and tidy as I made the cover, it did nothing for me because it was nice and neat and tidy, and I was struggling to make time. This has an elastic thing around it to keep it closed or keep a page. I was actually struggling for getting any vision sessions in, but I do think I've learned about myself that making something color coordinated and quite stylish is not the way to go for me, for my vision page, for my vision book. That is going to make me open it up, you know, a kapow to the eyeballs. So I got this colour, just a colour, that I put on there to make these words pop, because the background here to these words works so well with the craft. And that says find the magic, because you can tell the theme was there. The magic was in my joy. My joy was my power, the alchemy, the transforming things. And that has gradually been what's been happening. So that's find the magic within, I would say. You're not out there looking for it. I think it's you create it. Maybe it should say create the magic. And then it was already going quite well with these heather colours, but I also then just put purple pen to really make that go with that. And now it looks like a cohesive, lovely thing. That's a bit of a vibe of what my home would, it would be nice that if my home was like, but this is the only page I did in this book, again with the purple. So I do enjoy sometimes letting my mind like not make decisions on words making sense. I'll show you those in a minute, words, and going with colour. So okay, I've got a pink one in here, but I just grouped colour together. So that is a page that a friend sent me, which is part of a decorative page. Let your inner beauty glow. It's a celebration. Dreams. Would you believe it? Question mark. So I was telling myself that the only thing holding you back is what you believe is possible. So that has all of that to go. So that's why I'm showing you these, because I feel like this will be my home book, potentially. So I might, when I want to do pages that are about the place in, I think in Yorkshire. I love the sun. I might live abroad, but my goal at the moment is to live in Yorkshire, but it will just be somewhere beautiful and in nature. So I might use that. I might go back to it. So I just wanted to show you them. So I've already chosen my cover and I will show you. Couple of things I suggest. I am doing full pages on this. I could fill it with clippings or paint, as you've seen, or and still fill it all. But I have a few magazines where there's some interesting whole pages. When I find a whole page, I just keep a big cellophane thing like this, and that's what they go into. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm actually going to have to take them out of this because this one has now ripped down the side. It's torn. But if you get a long thing like that, you can put all your words in it. So I have lots of black words. Lots and lots of black on white. And I just wanted to show you because I have gone through 6 different possible front pages for my book. I love this font, Tunnel Vision, the splatter. And it could be tunnel vision to my goals, my dreams, tunnel vision to my business. I could also cut off tunnel and just use the word vision. I have Weaver, and I quite liked the idea of Vision Weaver. Gets your house in order, inside and outside. I'm manifesting a home for myself. But it can also mean your business, your life, your interior world. This isn't black, but this was I just had a whole bunch of words together. And I really love transform your body and your life, because for me, it's probably the most important thing is I've got a lot of brain fog, or have had. No, I've still got. And got myself into a bad state of fitness. which is only marginally improved with all the packing up I've been doing and doing a lot of walking when I was in Skipton. So getting myself fit and healthy, clearing brain fog, but I'm having trouble saying brain fog at the moment, has such a knock-on effect. You can imagine I'm more clarity, more working hours because I've got more energy, more downloads, more creative spark and all that. Put the sparkle back into your, and so it could be into your life. If I cut off A, put the sparkle back into your life. It could be put the sparkle back into your unique vision. So I encourage you, I've got playtime. I encourage you to cut out words and sentences and found poetry, you know, found sentences that you put together. I've got plot from wonderful, so I can make wonderful life, wonderful vision, wonderful. Two, get yourself some little two of the A. You'd be surprised, they're very useful. No need to fight. You get the gist. So I keep my word. So I came very close to, I really liked the idea of the black and white from the cover. I also really like, so I'm definitely going to have to do a page with these, the writing and the typewriter is really drawing me. There was that white with grey, which I thought went quite nicely with that. So I'm just showing you, my mind would go through a few different ideas sometimes before landing on one. That's okay. Love is in the air. We have that in bright colours. And then I've got some things I can use as edges. They're just, I don't know what they were, but you know, I could put them up or down a page or... So all sorts of weird and wonderful things you can keep. However, this is what I've settled on. I was trying to find words to put over the top of this quote. This is going to be my front page, and I'm crazy about this colour right now. Don't know what's happening. It must be my healing colour. My storage boxes, I've just kicked the tripod several times, I'm sorry. My storage boxes that I bought to put my stuff in are in this duck egg blue, robin egg blue. Pen pot, 3-tiered pen pot, same colour. Just lots of things that I'm just suddenly seeing it everywhere, and I'm choosing it if I've got colour options. So this blue, kind of a doorway. Is it a doorway? I thought it was when I looked at it. And then lots of decorative things all around it, and colour and tassels, and then the quote there is, it's not the stars, it's not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. William Shakespeare. So this is my destiny in my hands. I'm going to cut all the white off of the edge because it's a little too big. Let me just show you. It's a little too big for it. And by the time I've cut that white border off, yeah, baby. And then on the back, there is the compassion, what's the word? Wish. May all creatures be safe. May all creatures be free from suffering. May all creatures be healthy, and so on. I don't like the image as much. So I'm going for this on the back of my book. May you be safe. So it can be talking to me as I close the book. May you be, and out to everyone else. So I'm still seeing it as I'm sending this out to everybody. May you be safe. May you be free from suffering. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you live in lightness. May you be whole. So that's like my wishes for myself and everyone else and the planet, Mama Earth. Beautiful. So that is going to be on the back. Again, I will just have to trim a little around the edges, and I'm just going to stick that on. So when I stick on with my matte gel, this is the same that you would do if you have any liquid glue that isn't tacky once dry. Is you put the glue underneath, especially this is really porous stuff, it drinks it up. So the glue underneath there on the paper, I would put it on here and first, it'll start drinking it up. A little more on here, touch them together, and then I'd put more on top and use the brush or the scraper or whatever the heck I'm using, piece of cardboard, to work out from the center any air bubbles or excess matte gel. And the top will then be covered in it. So you're going to have the card, the layer of card, the layer of matte gel, the layer of magazine, the layer of matte gel, or glue, or whatever you use, Mod Podge, PVA glue. And then if you did the inside, you've got that again. So that's just what makes it really, really durable. If you're just using glue stick, you're not going to have so much reinforcement. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine. I want my stuff to last, so. And then I'll be able to cover that monstrosity up. Why put labels on books that are not book friendly, people? Why do you do it? Why do you do it? Drives me mad. So, there you have it. Starting a fresh book. But I've shown you, I've got some space in the other ones and I might like to have a little play. So we may well revisit those. But for now, I will be starting with my destiny being in my hands and then a wish for literally everything that I want in life when you take the specifics away. Who knows if Yorkshire's the best place for me to live in? Who knows? But I do want to be safe, free from suffering, happy, healthy, peaceful, live in lightness, be whole. So I think that's gorgeous. So I have made it very easy for myself, I admit. Whole page on the front, whole page on the back, boom, Bob's your uncle. But what if it were easy? So my values, let me just talk about, they're not making a feature yet. They're in my mind, but I'm not writing them out. And there, one in particular that is included is a lifelong one for me, having value of beauty. I just use that word. It means a lot of things. It means a lot of nature and serenity and colour and inspiration. And it depends on the circumstance. But it's very, very, my immediate environment is really, really important to me, and it drastically affects my mood, which is so ironic considering I've done 5 years and 3 months worth of pet sitting and house sitting. So I was living in other people's homes with no control over my surroundings, except that choosing the places that I went to. And then I did 4 years of caregiving in a very cluttered, dark, 200-year-old cottage with my gran. So it's always been a feature in my world, beauty, because I'm so affected by the environment around me, so affected by where I live and work and sleep and so on. So not surprising that's at the front of my mind at the moment, because I'm still not yet in control of that. When I have my own place, one, it will be the first time I've lived on my own in a very, very, very long time. And two, I can make it my own. So that there is me talking about the when thens, referring you back to your guidebook. Do not fret about feeling very far away from what you want, because what matters is beauty. So that means put lots of beautiful things on my book so that I'm looking at beauty. Make beautiful things with my art. So again, I'm looking at and I'm bringing beauty into this world. My focus is on it. Take myself to walks where there's the light and brightness, or there's the nature, the trees I can hug. You know, there's not too much traffic noise. Whatever it is that adds up to beauty, and in whatever form I am leading it in that moment. So beauty remains one of, if not the most important, having value for me. I value my health and body. So how that's looking right now is in a being value of vibrancy, aliveness, that kind of thing. So I'd say that's my priority ones. That's really, and I suppose living in my joy, to being joyful. I have done I feel like I've come out of a period of years of shadow work, and it's great, needs to be done. And it's now time for me to do my work and my evolution and my expansion and my manifestation from the place of joy. It's now time to get comfortable with feeling good more often than not, which is something I'm not used to. And with feeling joyful and energized and inspired and optimistic. That's going to take practice, right? So yeah, that's where I'm at. So they're not written down. I'm not using them at the moment. You may want to do that. Maybe the inside covers, you want to have your list of values. Maybe you identified some limiting beliefs and you want to choose an affirmation, a new statement of truth, a new belief that you wish to live by. I am definitely changing from my joy is my power. And I've had sort of magic making and making miracles and things, but I'm feeling it's still in shift. It's still in flux. So I'm not committing to that just yet, where I feel like I'll get there soon. This morning I woke up, I've been toying with the word cultivating. A bit like how I wasn't that keen on find the magic. You can absolutely seek magic, look for it everywhere. But I feel like I'm the one making the joy, making the magic in my world. So cultivating it still speaks to me of looking for it, but also generating more of it, focusing on it, bringing it into the being myself. So cultivating joy, cultivating miracles, cultivating my life. There's something going on with that word. So I didn't let it stop me making my covers because I didn't have a statement, a theme, a word that I was absolutely convinced of. I mean, you could just put the year on, leave it open completely, because the inside and all the different pages are going to tell the story. And, you know, just put 2024 to 2025 on the front and leave it at that. But for me, I'm going for the prayer on the back and my doorway, which is just reminding me the stars aren't holding your destiny, you are. My destiny is in my hands, in other words, and I might literally write that out. I quite like messages that hit me quickly. So images are great for that. They just, in one image, within nanoseconds of looking at it, you feel some type of way or you think something. It's not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. Takes a while. So I might just go, your destiny is in your hands, Ange. Might do that on the inside front cover. Okay, so that's where I'm at. Now let's glue.